What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Mile High Hockey. Drew Spivak, Will Peterson with you as always. And Drew, all good things must come to an end. The Avalanche's 17-game home winning streak snapped last night at Ball Arena by the Toronto Maple Leafs, 4-2-3 in overtime. And it's funny, even uttering that sentence, they won 17 in a row at home. Still haven't lost in regulation. This was an OT loss, so they're 19-0-3 in downtown Denver. That's more than half their home slate they have played. I'll let you take the direction here. Do we celebrate what they did? Do we break down why they lost, or is it a little bit of both here today on this Tuesday?
I would say it's probably a little bit of both, but for me, it's probably a little bit more leaning towards celebrating what they've done. I mean, 17 wins in a row at home is a ridiculous accomplishment. And that's hard to do.
Yeah.
It's hard enough to win 5, 6 games in a row at home, but to do it 17 different times, it's pretty incredible. And you look back at last night's game, and I thought, first off, just a wonderfully entertaining hockey game. I love when they play the Maple Leafs because their styles are so similar. It always makes for a fast-paced, high-energy hockey game. And I love when I get to watch the Avalanche play in a game like that. I'd rather watch that than watch them play the Islanders or Carolina, where it's more of this dumb and chase type style. No, give me the Maple Leafs all day, every day, where you could play a fast up-tempo style. And, it stinks that they lost, but you know what? You tip your cap to Toronto, because I thought Toronto played an outstanding hockey game last night. That was maybe the best I've seen Toronto play the entire season. They're playing really good hockey right now, 8-0-2 in their last 10 games. Austin Matthews has finally started to figure it out this year. He's getting going. So just for me, a really fun, entertaining hockey game. Yeah, it stinks that the streak ends, but you know what? The way this team has gone this year, they've had 2 different win streaks of 10 games in a row. They're probably going to get on another run here, before you know it. So stinks that it ends, but still fun to look back at a 17-game winning streak at home. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, I felt the same way. And that's kind of the luxury with the Avalanche right now is, they still got a point, and we're not going to sit here and go, oh my gosh, that 1 point may cost them. I mean, we're knocking on all the wood, but at this rate, this pace that they're on, Drew, 1 point just isn't going to matter in the grand scheme of things.
No.
Cale Makar even had a quote yesterday, like, well, these 2 points mean an awful lot to them, but we want them too.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of like the defenseman catching himself of like, yeah, this Toronto team, they're playing motivated right now, right? They're trying to make sure they're a playoff team in the Eastern Conference. You outlined how hot they are. And for the Avalanche, it's like, yeah, we'd love 2 points, but guess what? We're not going to get 2 points every single time. We might get 2 points in 69, 70 of our games, but there are going to be 12 of them or so throughout a year where we don't get 2. And so, yeah, I think just looking back on it, I mean, we're talking about a streak that began in October and it's January. I mean, that was my overwhelming takeaway. And even when the Leafs scored an OT, and we can get into OT because it was crazy and I thought McKinnon had won it. Honestly, I'll throw a word out to you and I want to see your reaction. I was a little relieved. It just felt like, okay, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like normally when OT ends, you're ticked off and you're the finality of it. And you're like, they just lost. Last night, I was just like, deep breath, whatever. The streak's done. That they won't get questions about it anymore. And we can move on.
It's funny because I actually had the same reaction. I was not peeved off at all. I just looked back and said, man, what a fun hockey game. That was a fun way to spend 2.5 hours on a Monday night. Now, I don't know about you. Did you ever see a replay of the McKinnon would-be goal? Because they talked about it, but then the replay of the broadcast never actually showed, unless they did on the postgame, which I didn't stay up for. But I never actually saw a replay of what happened. I think it hit the crossbar and came back out, but I didn't actually ever see a replay of it.
So, what's interesting is I was the same. I was watching the local broadcast and I was waiting for it. And I understand, once someone wins it, they just want to show you the winner. Right. And then they got obligations, they got sponsors, all that. But I felt the same way of like, wait, I want to see this. So I did go to Twitter, and Sportsnet had it from their Canadian broadcast. They never quite slowed it down as much as I would have liked. But no, I didn't sit there and go, oh my gosh, that went in the net. Like it clearly hit the crossbar. Mm-hmm. I think it was one of those ones where it was almost more deceiving in action. I thought it went in than anything else.
Yeah.
And then I thought the broadcast, Mark Rycroft made a good point too. He said, fellas, if that had gone in, they would have stopped the hockey game by now. So yeah, it was disappointing. I think Nathan McKinnon couldn't believe he didn't score, but honestly, let's talk about, how they even got to OT. Mm-hmm. I mean, that goal to get to overtime, McKinnon to Necas, that was really pretty.
Dude, Marty Necas had just a night last night. He was, I think, far and away the best player on the ice. I mean, he had a ridiculous night. That one moment where he was on the wall and he stops, hits the brakes, and spins around. I mean, that was just like, dude, that is a vintage Marty Necas play. It was really fun to watch that. And
You're talking about to set up Cale McCarr,
set up Cale McCarr,
the first goal. Yeah.
I mean, that was awesome to see him do that. He's playing at such an incredible level right now, and it's fun to kind of watch and see the chemistry with him and McKinnon just get better and better and better every single game. I don't know if you saw that McKinnon was on Spit and Chicklets
I did,
last week.
Yeah.
And kind of just talked about like just the chemistry with Necas and the way that it's developed. And he kind of went in a little bit. I mean, folks should go back and watch. It was a really insightful interview with Nathan McKinnon, but he just kind of talked about how the style of play between Necas and Rantanen is so different. They both play different styles, and Nate having to just kind of adjust to each one of them. It was a really interesting thing, but it's fun to watch that those two are developing and playing so well. And then Brock Nelson, dude, that goal on the power play, holy cow, what was it, 5 seconds into that thing?
Yeah, it was quick.
That he set that up. I mean, Brock Nelson's playing at a whole other level right now. I think if you look at it for me, like with the injuries they're dealing with right now, and I was thinking about this watching this game last night, that, you know, as much as they miss Landeskog and what he brings on the ice, off the ice and stuff like that, I actually think that the bigger loss right now is Devon Toews, because I've noticed a difference in Cale McCarr's game, that he's not jumping up into the play as much as he normally does. Now, he did last night with the goal that he got, but you see him being a little bit more defensively responsible, and I think that is a direct result of not having one of the best defensive defensemen in the game, Devon Toews, sitting next to him. Sam Malinsky has come up and done an admirable job filling that role for Toews, but you don't replace Devon Toews. And I think, to me, that's a really noticeable thing, is like not having him in the lineup. I think I don't want to say they're hurting the team because they're still winning a ton of hockey games, but it's noticeable for me.
Yeah, and McCarr's built up that chemistry with Toews. You're right, and it's sort of, he can play with anyone, right?
Yeah.
He's Cale McCarr, but it's a guy he's played with for what, 6-7 years now. I mean, he and Devon are arguably, or not even arguably, they are the best defensive tandem in the NHL. So yes, Cale is what, 60 of that, 65% of that, but when you remove the other 35% of it, that's going to hurt Cale McCarr's game. Not that he's playing poorly, but you're right. It's just doesn't look quite the exact same without Toews out there. All right, so the Avalanche lose. They actually have some time off now. Won't play again until Friday, so we can do more preview stuff when we're back with you all on Friday. But I wanted to talk about the Olympics, Drew, because we did the show with Mike Evans when all the rosters were revealed, and that was really fun, going through the 9 Avalanche that'll be over there in Italy representing. We're keeping our fingers crossed that Gabe Landeskog can still play. Jared Bednar has said that's up to him and up to Team Sweden. But kind of taken over the hockey world, this arena and all the conversation around it. If you haven't seen it, go look on social media. I mean, there are so many flaws in something that they had 8 years to build. The locker rooms still aren't done. They had to stop a test game for a hole in the ice, and they literally had a grandma's watering can out there to fill the ice in. The scoreboard looks like it's something out of the early 90s. The graphics aren't sharp. Man, Drew, I understand they're probably still going to do this thing, but I just think this arena, people think it's a story now. Give it a month. It may dominate the talk about the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, it probably will. And the mind-blowing thing about this whole thing is that, I mean, we've known the Olympics were going to be in Milano for how long? Like 8 years?
Yeah.
And yet we're sitting here, we're a month out from the start of the Olympic tournament, or for the hockey tournament. And like you said, the arena's still not finished. The ice has been in poor shape. I mean, some of the pictures that are coming out, like we'd all heard like about month and a half ago that it was going to be a shorter surface. It's not going to be the standard 200 feet, which kind of stinks because most of the time in the Olympics, you actually get a much bigger ice surface. I remember back in Sochi, remember how big that rink was, how big it was, wide and stuff like that. It's more fun to watch an Olympic tournament with bigger ice. Now it's going to be smaller. And I saw the pictures of the neutral zone the other day. That is going to be a noticeable thing. We are going to see so many whistles, I think, for offsides penalties in this tournament. It's going to be it's going to be interesting to kind of see how that plays out. But listen, they did the test games the other day. The NHL, I think, and the NHLPA actually released a statement yesterday saying that they're pleased with the way things are going. That's probably code word for like, yeah, we're not happy. We're just going to put on a brave face. But listen, at the end of the day, I think they'll get it all figured out. It'll be fine. It's not going to be great. This happens a lot of times, I think, with a lot of these Olympic venues, especially when you're not doing it in places with established rinks. Like, it goes right up to the wire, and the accommodations, the the arenas themselves, they're never really what you think they should be for such a high class, world class event. But you know what? It's 2 weeks. It's not the end of the world. As long as we don't see injuries come from it, I think it's one of those things like, okay, it'll be a fun talking point. But the play on the ice, now having the NHL guys back in the Olympics for the first time since 2014, it's going to be incredible. That's going to be the bigger talking point for me.
Yeah, no, I hopefully at the end of the day, we're like, oh, they didn't have locker rooms. Ha ha. Not, oh, someone blew their knee out and it's affecting a cup run, across the league. We know all the best players are going over there. So yeah, no, I'm with you that like, if it becomes just sort of ha ha gaggy, that's all good. If it turns into, oh, this ice was not good and someone got seriously hurt and they're out for the rest of the NHL regular season, that's when it's going to go from a laughing matter to not so much of a laughing matter. And then the other thing with this is you mentioned Nathan MacKinnon on Spit and Chicklets. He sort of doubled down. He had the quote a while ago to our old friend Peter Baugh about, I'll be there. I can't control it. And then he sort of doubled down on that on the Olympics. He said, I don't care if it's 3-on-3, it's the Olympics. I'll be there. I'm paraphrasing, but that was his quote. I do like that a guy like MacKinnon, who's either the best player or arguably the best player in the NHL, and obviously his words have so much weight, I do like that he's not pouting about it because other guys would take their cues from the superstars. He's more saying, we're just going to go play, boys. And therefore, if you're a fourth liner on Team Finland, you're not going to say anything because the best player on Canada is down with this. I think it's good leadership from MacKinnon.
No, I agree. And I think, to my knowledge, I don't think I've heard one player yet talk about it in a negative way. They've all kind of said the same thing MacKinnon has. Like, I think the Kachuk brothers, the podcast they do, they both said, whatever, we're going to show up and just go play hockey. It is what it is. Nothing you can do about it. And I think that's a good thing. Like, it's more been kind of a media and fan type story that they're talking about it. But at the end of the day, like I said, dude, we get to watch the best players in the world play Olympic hockey for the first time in 12 years. Like, take a cue kind of from Four Nations last year. Like, we all loved the heck out of that tournament. That was incredible. That was fun. That was awesome. That was only 4 teams.
Yeah.
Now we get to see Marty Necas and Czechia play. We get to see Leon Draisaitl and Germany play in this tournament. Like, this is going to be an incredibly fun hockey tournament. And it's good to see that guys like Nathan MacKinnon are just like, yeah, you know what? We're just going to go show up for 2.5 weeks and try and win a gold medal. And the ice is going to be what it's going to be.
Yeah. And how many of these guys have gold medals? I mean, does Sidney Crosby and that
he's got the triple gold,
right?
But that's about it. I mean, because
like Nathan MacKinnon doesn't have an Olympic gold. Like, that's what you brought it up well, that it's been 12 years.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, there's stuff in trophy cases. This is the one thing a lot of the top dudes in the league are missing. So this may be his only chance to go get a gold medal in his entire career.
Well, think about it from McKinnon's perspective. Like, he got to play in the World Cup, but he played for the under 23 team, the North American under 23 team. That's cool, but it's not getting to play for your country. Getting to play in the Four Nations last year was really cool, but it's not the same thing as playing in the Olympics and playing in a world-class event like that. And that's where I really hope that this whole thing does go off without a hitch, because as well as I do that if something goes wrong in this whole thing, somebody gets seriously injured because of ice issues or something like that, the NHL and NHLPA will pull the plug on the NHL players playing in the Olympics probably for the rest of time. And I do not want to see that, because I want to see the best on best. I know some people make the argument, oh, it should be the amateurs anyway. No, when it comes to this stuff, I want to see the best on best. Give me Nathan MacKinnon, Connor McDavid, Brady Tkachuk, Matthew Tkachuk. Give me all that. That's what I want to see in an Olympic format.
Yeah, and guess what? 30 years, 40 years, 50 years from now, when Nathan MacKinnon and Cale Makar are showing their grandkids, hey, here's what Grandpa won. It's a cup. In Cale's case, it's a Conn Smythe. In Nathan's case, it's a Hart. Cale's got a Norris. They both want to be able to say, and I got a gold medal in the Olympics.
Although we say that they got a silver medal. That's what I want to see. Because give me Brock Nelson with a gold medal.
See, this brings back the Nikola Jokic, Serbia, Team USA. You're right. I haven't actually spent a ton of time thinking about that. Of course, I'm American. I'm a proud American. I will find myself pulling for Team USA, but it's going to be hard to cheer against Nathan MacKinnon and Cale Makar and Devon Toews.
It's funny you say that, because I had a conversation with my 5-year-old hockey-obsessed son this morning. We were talking about the Olympics, and he's like, wait, am I going to be not rooting for Nathan MacKinnon in the Olympics? I was like, no, buddy, because he's playing for Canada. He's like, well, I'm going to root for Canada then.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I guess you do it. You root whoever you want to root for. But for me, I want to see Brock Nelson, the Tkachuk brothers, and those guys go out and get a gold medal. This thing is just, I can't wait. We have 10 games left for the Avalanche, for the Olympic break. I cannot wait till we get to February and we get to talk Olympic hockey for 2.5 weeks.
Man, me and your 5-year-old son might have something in common.
I
The
know.
more I think and I know it sounds un-American and bad, but I vividly remember these same conversations with Nikola Jokic and Team Serbia, and we're definitely going to be having them this time around.
Because I was rooting for Serbia.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. in that aspect, I was rooting for Nikola Jokic to get a gold medal and rooting for Serbia. But this time around, now I'm rooting for the U.S.
Well, and a lot of the guys on that American team, Nuggets fans, were not real big
100%.
fans
Yeah.
of. So
there's somebody on the Canadian team that I really dislike. I'm like, look at all the guys. I mean, we got 3 Avalanche players playing on that team. You got Connor McDavid. You got a bunch of just studs that are going to be playing on the team. Like, there's a lot of guys you want to root for. But I want the U.S. to win this thing, especially because the U.S. hasn't won a gold medal.
Yeah.
It's been Canada. I mean, they got so close in 2010 in Vancouver, ended up losing the golden goal, but it's a great opportunity. It's going to be so much fun to watch. I can't stop talking about it. I can't wait for this tournament.
Well, this is perfect because we do have another month or so, or not even really, until we can have deeper conversations about this. And you're right. Mile High Hockey will obviously roll on during the Olympics because so many Avalanche players to discuss. All right, fun episode, good episode. Avalanche will look to start a new winning streak on Friday night, and Drew and I will be back that afternoon to break it all down.